Children don't know who to look up. They don't know what is true, what is false, because you keep manipulating our history. We're only going to get stronger as a people in this generation. We are the good works of Malcolm X, the good works of all of our leadership. We are them. We ain't going nowhere. The next generation won't be soft the way you're trying to make us become. It ain't happening. So therefore, you will always deal with this because you banking on that. That's why you're doing what you're doing, because you are praying that he dies and that his legacy dies like the legacy of every other group, like you stomped out in history all other black revolutionary groups and organizations. It ain't happening with this one. Ever. I know that that's where y'all are. We know that. We're not stupid. And he said, you will deal with me for generations to come, meaning the characteristics that are a part of him, the characteristics that are a part of him are a part of us. Minister Farrakhan said that when you breathe in these characteristics, Jesus lives again. You breathe in these principles, Muhammad lives again. You breathe in these principles, Moses lives again, and all of our leadership from the top down. You ain't never going to get rid of us. So those of you getting comfortable in Hollywood, if I was you, I would think twice. Because as long as you got brothers and sisters like myself and all of us who follow the minister and all of us who have that kind of spirit, whether if you follow him or not, you're not going to be playing no games like this.
We got soldiers. They number soldiers around here. Unity is the key, period. And as he said, Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, whatever you want to call yourself, or more, Nawabian, Pan-Africanist, the point is we are all looked at as black, Aboriginal, Asiatic, original, whatever. We're looked at as black folk. So we have to literally come together like we did before and make this thing happen, make it work. The Chinese don't argue about which part of China they're from. They literally don't say, oh, you from Hong Kong, I'm from Kowloon. No, man, it's like, oh, you Chinese, I'm Chinese. I employ you, you employ me. I scratch your back, you scratch mine. You put money in my bank account, I put money in yours. Ant-like mentality. That's why the Holy Quran says, study the ant and become wise. They work. They work, they work. The only time an ant stops is to verify to see if you're on the same mindset as me. But those two animals, they touch each other. You're on the same, we're on the same mind frame. That's it. Other than that, brother, it's work, and build. It does not matter how you slice it. This is the same system that we've been fighting against for centuries. There is nothing that needs to be tossed around here. Stop with the nonsense. There is no hope in this administration nor future administrations. The dollar is backwards. It is upside down. You and I must get a hold of gold, get a hold of silver, get a hold of land, become independent. Period. What we really need to understand is this government absolutely operates from the perspective of fear. That is the easiest way by which you can control the people. You look at who becomes rattled easily. And then once you find out who that is, you continue to rattle them over and over again. Adolf Hitler used the same technique. Continue to tell a lie over and over again and it will become the truth. But you use fear, you use it to desensitize the people so much to where you create the problem, watch the reaction, watch people go crazy, then you provide the solution. Gotcha. Very strategic, very evil, very wicked, but very effective. The other thing is when people are looking at this, they have to look at the fact that there's a difference between having conspiracy theories and conspiracy fact.
Come on, speak on that.
Conspiracy theorist is a term that was created when John F. Kennedy was assassinated. Okay, and they wanted to look at getting people to be quiet and demonize the people who would question. Anybody who questioned, they are insane. With everything that America is doing currently, know and understand that that circumstance that is going on in Palestine, that circumstance that is going on in Ghana, that circumstance that is going on in Zimbabwe, the circumstance that is going on in South Africa, the circumstance that is going on all throughout the Middle East and Africa and Asia will meet home and hit home harder than ever before. It will hit harder than you or I could ever imagine. You are not in the understanding where tanks could be rolling up and down your street tomorrow. You are not believing or even thinking that police can raid your house tomorrow just because. You are not thinking with the idea of there being over 800 FEMA camps, Federal Emergency Management Agency camps, ready and up and running. You are not thinking with the understanding of 70 to 75% of your food being genetically modified currently right now. You are not thinking with the understanding that you and most of us do do not know our directions, north, south, east, and west, you are not thinking with the understanding of survival, not being able to operate without a cell phone, not being able to literally cook our own food, catch our own food. Do you know how to fish? Can you lift your own body weight up at least once?
They're trying to figure out who the hell woke us up. Why are we so hesitant? Why are we so, should I say, not hesitant, intelligent? Why are we questioning so much? Why don't we just listen to what the doctors say? Why don't we just take it and just shut up and bow down and agree to a system that is tyrannical, that is wicked and evil? Why don't we just fall in lies? Each day I had at least 2 events where I was educating large groups of people, men, women, and children, including a set of teachers, an entire county of teachers, including medical professionals, legal professionals. Some were in law enforcement. I admire and I appreciate and I'm thankful for the fact that we are finally waking up. I see a lot of our people talking about the subject, finally talking about the subject. That's a beautiful thing. A word of caution I will give you. Number 1, stop talking about the topic for views, because people are truly afraid, and because they are afraid, they're listening to anybody with a platform who talks about this topic. And I am being honest with you when I say about 75 to 80% of the people talking about this topic do not know what they're talking about. Be very careful. Your brother, 40, 35% talking about it, 65% fighting against it legislatively, educating, meeting with the doctors, the scientists, the medical professionals, the chemists, the lawyers, everybody, getting the actual data, the information, the science. I'm not the only one who does it, but I'm saying when it comes to the black community in our generation, that is your brother. I'm saying that because, again, I'm watching a lot of people while I'm out here actually getting the data from these scientists, meeting with them, holding them accountable, and they validated, they fessed up to, they admitted, they verified, they clarified that everything that not only I have been exposing was absolutely right and exact and correct for years.
So they didn't call us in, but they called in Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook. Y'all don't even know how big this is, how big of a deal this is. Okay. They brought in the billionaire Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook. They brought in Jack Dorsey of Twitter. They also brought in Mr. Pichai, who is the CEO over Google. And they said, you need to get these 12 off of your platforms. And in that 12, I'm the only one in that 12 with no degrees. Yeah. I have none of these colorful titles, but I'm that one little young Negro who follows Farrakhan, who has been exposing their agenda so well. Because again, they're not going to just say get this person off unless there's some credibility, something that's factual about what this man is saying. Because they could have just wrote me off and said he's a crazy conspiracy theorist and just left it at that. But they're like, no, take this Negro and these other 11 people off of your platforms now. And as a result, they snatched me off of Instagram, both of my Facebooks, YouTube, Twitter, Clubhouse. They banned me from all these, and then they started calling around to the black media networks telling them do not interview him in particular.
You know that thing we've been saying for a long time, when you tell people that they're conspiracy theories simply because they operate along with facts and data and evidence and science and studies that are actual studies and not based off of money, but based off of the better interest of the people and humanity and all of those things that we are all a part of, but sometimes we may forget depending on how much money we're offering.
This system is going to change all of the over 200,000 laws that are on the books that are targeting us. You are out of your damn mind. There is a problem. If you are a person of influence with money, with a high level of following, with a high level of influence over other people who have high levels of influence, and you do not understand the system of white supremacy, if you do not understand that there is a push for depopulation, meaning the culling, murdering, and or killing of an entire group of people, namely black, brown in the original, but black first, there is a problem. If you do not know about the National Security Study Memorandum 200, there is a problem. If you do not know about Global 2000, there is a problem. If you do not know that forced sterilizations on black and brown women just stopped in the jails here in California just in 2014, there is a problem. if you do not understand that Bill Gates is purchasing a large amount of land because he has contracts with Monsanto, therefore he will have a monopoly on genetically modified foods and seeds, therefore he will be able to monopolize and take over the food industry because there is a famine in America and a food shortage in America. There is a problem. If you don't get the fact that the dollar is upside down, which is why they're switching all of the currencies into digital currency, because this paper dollar bill, this fake fiat debt paper that is worth nothing, and they're trying to figure out a way to keep the economy going, because I create the sickness and therefore I create the pills to manage the sickness, and therefore I make steady clientele. I have patience for life. Therefore, I will always make money. Therefore, the program is an investment. If you don't understand that by now, there is a problem.
Marijuana and alcohol. So that more so has to do with keeping the people controlled, keeping them mentally and physically controlled, and also keeping them under the illusion of everything, keeping them out of the ability to focus, to pay attention to what this government has been doing and what is still doing today, so that they don't stand up and have that ability to fight back, as Brother Dr. Wesley has gone over many times, of being put in a incapacitating position where you're not a warrior anymore. You can't even respond appropriately when it comes to a time of a fight or flight circumstance where you are posed with a condition where you need to either fight and protect or you need to run away. Too many people have been drinking alcohol and smoking marijuana for so long, they can't run 5 steps.
Brother Rizza, look, I didn't think it was going to go this far with it, but let's go ahead and delve to the Oscars. Best dressed, huh? This is what happens when you call masculinity toxic and then you promote to children and men all across this country that it is more advantageous to put on a woman's dress. So you really think there's no agenda to emasculate the black man and to make the man more feminine? Oh, no, that the epitome of masculinity comes from that of the black man, right? The strongest, the original, the man who is the first of all men. So you put the first of all men, the original of all men, in a dress. What does this do to the psychological makeup of all men? What does it do when you offer men more money to put on a dress, but if they refuse to put on a dress, you call them crazy, Dave Chappelle? What does it do when you put some of the most successful black men in dresses? Kevin Hart, Terry Crews, Chris Rock, the list goes on. What does it then do when you have some of these black female celebrities promoting it, saying that it is a good thing? See, the mind consists of pictures and images, right? And the image of an alpha male is detrimental to this system, correct? In order for this system of white supremacy to exist, they must destroy the image of the alpha male. They destroy us and kill us mentally by having men put on dresses and have them do other things with other men. And the American Psychiatric Association just back in January said that masculinity is behind all of the horrible things going on in the world, therefore encouraging men to be more feminine. It creates an environment of overly feminine men who are not able to protect themselves, women, or children. The government is saying population control is a problem, so this is their justification to take us all out. Back to our program. McDonald's, also known as Mickey D's, Mickey Destruction, Mickey Demise, Mickey Death, Mickey Diabetes, Mickey Obesity. Not how you spell it. McDonald's, currently the largest fast food chain on the planet with a little over 38,000 locations in a little over 110 countries. Wow. Currently uses a little over 1 billion pounds of beef every year in America. That's a little over 5,500,000 cows. But according to the United States Department of Agriculture, there are a little over 98 million cows currently in America. Mathematically, it would take about a little less than 18 years for all of the beef to be gone. Interesting. Does not include restaurants, does not include all of the other fast food chains, does not include grocery stores. So what am I saying? You eat it, because clearly it ain't mystery meat. Get your mystery meat here. Now, don't be mad, y'all ain't used real meat since Ronald McDonald got fired. I wouldn't even trust the orange juice in this place. $1 for any soft drink. Ain't nothing but sewer water and syrup.
She said Negroes are like human weeds and should be exterminated. She even said we should use the preacher and not tell the people that we are trying to exterminate the black population. She was an honorary Klanswoman. She has an award medal that many people receive. Hillary Clinton said, quote, I admire Margaret Sanger's tenacity. That's what you call it. Tenacity. And if you go back on YouTube, you will see some of the old black and white interviews with Margaret Sanger. And she said, I believe the greatest sin is to bring a child into the world. It's like that level of evil. Right. And then it transferred from her mind into her organization. It was first called the American Birth Control League. Right. During the system of eugenics, genes, meaning good stock, good genetics, came forth from Francis Galton, all in the area of psychiatry. Right. Psychiatry had a lot to do with Jim Crow. Right. Psychiatry had a lot to do with runaway slaves. You had a term called drapetomania, which was originated by a psychiatrist whose name was Samuel Cartwright, who believed that we had a mental disease if we wanted to pull out the negatives and say, listen, brothers, y'all got to do better on this. You right. And we have to say, sisters, you got to do better on that. Brothers, you're right. Okay, we need to love one another. All right, that's right. Let's work on that. Boom. Accountability on both ends. Both sides stop playing. We were both destroyed by the same enemy in different ways, rewarded for doing things that demoralized us, destroyed us in different ways. What he just said was absolutely correct. If you are operating out within your nature, she's going to do the same thing. You don't have to ask a woman to be a woman, because the very nature of you being a man will bring out that girl side of herself. She will want to submit to the God in you because she sees that you operating under God. She sees that. So like, why wouldn't I want to submit? Meaning work in conjunction with you. It doesn't mean I am below you and subordinate to you. No, it means that you require me as your balance in order to exist in this world.
And a man is a child if he doesn't allow her to offer those natural gifts that she has.
Correct. We need one another. We are both twin sides of the one God, the masculine and the feminine. I don't care what nobody says. Minister Farrakhan says that a man doesn't know he's a man without a woman, and a man who doesn't have a woman doesn't know if he's one. Ooh. You have to be the man, learn knowledge of self, learn knowledge of God, learn knowledge of the devil, learn about the time, what must be done, your history, your culture, etc. Operate out of that to the best of your ability, and she will see that you're doing that, and she will be down with it because you proved it through your actions, not simply behind your talking to everyone else. See, it's a total experiment globally. That's the difference. Yeah. That's what we have to understand. So when you're looking at it, it's about money and it's about depopulation. I can make money from this, and I can kill a large amount of people so that whatever money I get, I can invest in taking up the land from where those people used to live. I can gentrify your entire community. I can buy up everything that I want, and then I can institute whatever it is that I want to institute. So now they're saying, you don't know what's good for you, we do. You're going to have to follow what it is that we say. So the only option we have now is what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said at the end of the July 4th address. He said, you only have this life. Fight like hell to protect it. Plain and simple. If they come to your door, which they are going to come to your door, and mine and yours, you're going to have to make a decision now. It's not about being fair. It's not about saying, oh, well, you know, I have my rights. They don't give a damn about that. The majority of them don't realize that they're being ordered to do something, one, that is not needed, two, that is completely evil and wicked, three, that is against this own government's constitution. If they ever gave a damn, the freedom of religion, speech, press, petition, and assembly is the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. But fine, F all of that. My government told me to give you this because what you have is going to infect me and infect everybody, and we're all going to die anyway, which is not totally true. So the people are going to have to rise up against a tyrannical government, just like every nation eventually has to do. It was people quarantining themselves, boosting their immune system, and stop doing certain things, too much sex with people and coughing on people, being around so many people in the way that they were, and they started to increase in their own personal health. You're going to have to change the way you eat. You're going to have to change what you drink. You're going to have to change how you operate, exercise, etc. I'm saying from personal perspective of us having our own health, take control and take responsibility for what is going on within your own life. The reason why we got diseases and stuff going on now, one is in part by the government creating some of them. Two is because of mutations in nature. And three, it is because of our flagrant, undisciplined lifestyles that we go into. Having sex with every damn body, no condom, sharing needles with people, doing drugs, drinking a bunch of alcohol, doing a bunch of crazy stuff, not taking vitamins, not taking minerals, not taking the proper herbs, not exercising. Like, we're just not giving a damn about ourselves. Period. We got to come out of that. Changing what we eat. We are in Georgia, one of the most fertile states in this country, damn near, if not the most fertile, to where you can plant something and it has some of the most pure nutrients that you put into your body and your immune system gets boosted. Work on boosting your immune system every day. Drink water, specifically spring water, every day. You have to take high levels of vitamin C. Not specifically the ascorbic acid, but I would say liposomal vitamin C, which is liquid vitamin C. And there are other vitamin C crystals and things like that. Take that. You want to eat more berries, more fruits and vegetables. You want to get more herbs in your body. You want to take more black seed oil. You want to take more of these different colloidal silver. You want to take all these different things that are immune boosting herbs and liquids. Get all of your minerals in, all 102 of your minerals. If you take sea moss, that's fine. Bladderwrack, that's all 102 that you need there, and whatever other things. But the point is, focus on your health. The reason why Brother Rizza Islam is so healthy, the reason why Brother Rizza Islam looks like this, is because I take care of my body. I'm not a damn fool to what this government is doing and what they have always been doing and what they will continue to do if we don't rise up and change it.
I didn't accuse you of anything. So am I anti-Semitic for asking questions? Between 1865 and 1877 was the Reconstruction era, when black people were supposedly freed from slavery, and we went back to school. We became congressmen and doctors and lawyers and all these different magnificent things, and we were building our own neighborhoods, etc., etc. But wasn't it in 1877, the compromise of 1877 between Democrats and Republicans, where they met at the Wormley Hotel, February 26, 1877 in Washington, D.C., where they came up with the idea that in order for us to maintain a stable economy, we need to put black people back on the plantation. Did that not happen? But what is my relevance in bringing that up? Wasn't it a Jewish man by the name of Levy who was in Congress who introduced the idea to put us back on the plantation in 1877? William Levy, he guaranteed his southern slave-owning friends that their investment would be protected and secured by having black Africans put back onto the plantation in 1877. His entire speech given to Congress is preserved in the Library of Congress, March 1st, 1877. Oh, it was a Jewish man who helped to push to make black men and women look permanently inferior under law, 1877. So we need to look at this as it pertains to the relationship that black people have with Jewish people. Now, let us take this a step further. A Jewish man named Rothschild, who everyone should know, Rothschild, had a representative here in America by the name of August Belmont, and he was the one who was investing or managing Rothschild's investments, etc. August Belmont's real name or last name was Schoenberg, Jewish man as well. He was managing the cotton, tobacco, and other products and investments dealing with slaves, black people, for Rothschild. Remember, just to keep all of this in context, 95% of the workers in the southern states were black men. White men did not know how to lay bricks. They did not know how to build buildings. They did not know how to do any of this. We did this. 95% of the work that was going on in the southern states were from black slaves, black men in particularly. So we were the ones who were handling all the trades. Keep that in mind. Seeing how we knew all the trades, seeing how we knew how to do all of the work, seeing how white people were not experienced in building virtually anything, that was a big problem, because if we were going to be freed, then that means they have no one to till the soil, they have no one to build anything, they have no one to fix or maintain or manage anything. So therefore, they had to figure out a way to prevent black people from working, prevent us from working, prevent us from having a job, and only focus on pushing the jobs to them. So a man by the name of Samuel Gompertz, a Jewish man who was born Samuel Gompertz, created something called the American Federation of Labor. And this was founded in 1886 to guarantee that black people would not have a job. And so us, by and large, were going to be pushed directly into economic deprivation, into a condition of being totally broke. Jewish man. Y'all think it's just easy, or I don't know what some of y'all think we get paid to do this. Some of y'all think we out here got sponsors and all this, and this is raw passion, man. Raw passion. Find your purpose. Find your reason for living. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if you don't find your reason for living, somebody's gonna give you one. That's how it is in the hood. You don't have your own purpose, somebody gonna give you a purpose. Hey, little homie, take this dime, take this nickel bag, take this little dime bag, whatever, go slang this. Take this, go slang this. Take this, go slang this. Matter of fact, go rob him. Go shoot him. Go steal from here. Go break into this. Go give me them shoes. If you don't make your own purpose and find your own purpose, somebody will give you one. And make sure your purpose ties in to the upliftment of your people. It doesn't matter whether if you're black, brown, red, yellow, or white. Make your purpose help you to uplift your people. Because again, I'm going to just tell you, I'm 29. And I'm never slowing down. It's not happening. We don't have much time, believe it or not. Number one, America is currently in debt. America is over $20 trillion in debt, according to her and according to Wall Street. But according to the actual statistics, it's a little over $60 trillion in debt. So America needs to make money. Okay.
America in no way is discriminating as it pertains to making money. America will do anything to make money. It will go and steal oil and resources from other countries. It will kill people for mineral wealth. It will even allow its own children and citizens and women to be trafficked for sex trafficking. Why do I say this? Why do I even bring this topic up in connection with black women missing? The underground sex trafficking, organ trafficking ring collectively across the planet makes a little over $150 billion. Again, remember, keep in mind, America is in debt to the tune of tens of trillions. So America needs to make money by any means necessary. Also, black women are the number one least protected women. I'm going to say that again. The black woman is not protected, and it is not a secret. Because it is not a secret, justifies its occurrence so flagrantly, so consistently. You are dealing with people, evil, wicked people, who see an opportunity to capitalize monetarily off of a specific demographic which does not have security. People who wish to put women into underground sex trafficking, people who wish to put children and women and anybody into organ trafficking to steal organs for money. They have to find a demographic of people that are not secured. There is a reason why you don't see Chinese people heavily involved in the sex trafficking in America. They are involved in China, but in America, there's a reason why you don't see a whole lot of white women who blatantly get pushed into the underground sex trafficking ring. Some of them do, but there's a reason why the women, white women, are not heavily in that demographic. They do it legally. They'll just go into the porn industry. Okay, and then we have a certain section of women that go into being prostitutes and go into the porn industry. But specifically, we are talking about the illegal, involuntary, detaining, and trafficking, robbing, kidnapping of children and women. But the main group of people who are responsible for black women are black men. The main group of people who have been speaking negatively about black women also are black men. And because we do that, we are promoting to those who wish to take our women that it is advantageous, that it's a benefit to them, that it's possible, that they can do it, and there more than likely won't be anyone to stop them because we disrespect our own women. We call our own women all these different names. We demonstrate to the world that we don't give a damn about them, and that, hey, you can do whatever you want to. Because I say whatever, I do whatever to them, I don't give a damn. So what we are telling the world is that they don't have to give a damn either. Canine kidney cell protein, which is coming from the cells of an adult female Cocker Spaniel. There are chicken cell proteins, polysorbate 80, on a little chemical known as formaldehyde, used when a person has passed away to inject into their body to make sure it pickles and becomes preserved. And it's connected to multiple allergies and asthma and a little known something called cancer. Something called monosodium glutamate, aka MSG, you know that thing that was in Chinese food? And they also have gelatin, which is the boiled skins and bones of animals in Skittles and Starburst, etc. Oh, and yes, a little thing called thimerosal, which is a preservative, aka mercury. Same mercury that is found in power plants, the same mercury that is 1,000 times more neurotoxic than lead, the same mercury that is connected to cancer, the same mercury that kills brain cells, the same mercury that if it fell on the ground from a thermometer, a hazardous material crew would have to come in and clean it up and evacuate the entire school. All of these horrific ingredients, and you want me to inject myself and my child with these. What is it that they are truly up to? See, a lot of misinformation goes out here because we have to understand the same enemy, again, who controls all of this, wants to keep our attention everywhere else. You're in the middle of the impeachment of the president of the United States. Right. They are going to manipulate our emotions. Right. So much so to where for days and even weeks we are only going to talk about our brother. Not that it's a bad thing to talk about our brother, but to talk about this and not pay attention to what is going on over your head is a problem.
You see what I'm saying? So they always use tragedy to create more confusion and to also pass laws, to commit some of the most horrific things on the planet, to do things behind your back, behind your back, etc. Jeffrey Epstein was one of those behind the sex trafficking, organ trafficking of children. Right? According to the United States Census Bureau, by the year 2042, Caucasian people in America will be the minority. By 2042, you're dealing with people whose bodies cannot sustain life. Right now, more white women's wombs are not able to hold a baby up to 9.5 months, and they're having miscarriages. So they're having more deaths than births, according to the United States Census Bureau. When you're dealing with a group of people who look at their livelihood and it is dwindling, there are actions that need to be taken. So not only do we have the black woman being encouraged to have hysterectomies, but we have the white woman being encouraged to have more children. You have the abortion clinics in 78% of the inner city neighborhoods, while you have the majority of fertility clinics in the rich neighborhoods. You have body parts. Black women are being encouraged to get hysterectomies, but those hysterectomies are not being petitioned to be received by trans men. This gets very deep.
Wow.
Very deep. I know, curveball. I know.
That took a turn.
I know.
Yeah.
Another thing, you have organs, kidneys, you have lungs, hearts, etc., that are on the underground white market because black people don't control it. White and Jewish people primarily do control it, so I can't call it the black market. It's the white market. Okay, number one. Number two, hearts are worth a little over 100,000. Kidneys are worth over 20, 50,000, depending on where it is. And those black body parts, hence why 75,000 plus black men are missing. A lot of these children, 2,500 every year, are missing.
It sounds like Get Out.
It is Get Out. That movie was based on true stories happening all over the place. In America, right now, it is a $30 billion sex trafficking commercialized industry, meaning the money made from sex trafficking of children and women is now contributing to America's economic base. It is not a secret anymore.
And organ trafficking.
And organ trafficking, because people are dying. How did David Rockefeller get 6 or I believe 7 heart transplants in less than 20 years? When you go on the list for a heart donor, you have to go back to the bottom after you get a heart. This man, who happens to be a banker, and he's gone now, but he got over 5 hearts. How do you do that unless you have the money to do it? And not only that, but what hearts was he getting?
Yeah,
a black man's heart. Which is why you shouldn't put organ donor on your driver's license. Because that makes you a target. This is a real world we deal with. Brother, they found a bunker in Phoenix, Arizona a couple months ago with refrigerators full of hearts, kidneys, a few heads, body parts in refrigerators. This is a very real thing. And it wasn't just an organ warehouse. No, it was a bunker, unmarked. People didn't know about it until the police raided it and they found all these body parts. It's a very real thing. It's called a smartphone, not because it makes you smart, but because you make it smart by what you put in it. You give the government everything with this. The government's in this building. They've been in this building. They listen to everything you're saying right now. Edward Snowden gave this information all out, which, by the way, that's in my book that I want to give you. In that book, I go over specifically in social media. One of the only books I've ever seen that covers social media extensively. Edward Snowden, who was in Russia right now, in asylum. Yes, he sought asylum. And he broke it down dealing with the United States government, all the information, how they record every phone call, every text message, every email.
Who you are, where you come from, and anything dealing with your history and your overall understanding of your existence as a human reality. By that first move, I can now inject inside of you an entire different type of personality to where I can control you as a slave. The first thing that had to be done was for us to be removed from the knowledge of who we are and who we were. That's number one. You can't enslave a person who knows who they are. You cannot make a person afraid if they know who God is. You cannot control a person who has their own strength, their own mind, their own understanding. You can't do that to somebody. So they had to do that to us first, then allow us to maneuver in a way where we thought we were free, and then come between us to create a system of tricks and lies, deceptive intelligence, and division. So you cause us to now fight and kill one another. So now we don't have an overall understanding of unity. We don't even want to operate collectively. We all got our own mind. We all want to do this over here, over there, while every other group of people operate as a unit. Even if there are individuals, they still go back to that thing. I'm Chinese. Y'all can say whatever you want, but I know I'm Chinese. Y'all can say whatever you want. I know I'm Jewish. Y'all can say whatever you want. I know I'm Native. Y'all can say whatever you want. I'm Australian. See, they go back to what they know what they are. We happen to give ourselves so many different names, labels. I'm this, I'm that. It's just like you are not united, which means it doesn't mean that we have to all operate the same in how we dress and how we talk. No, but we have to be on the same page. We have to get on the same page.
Agreed.
You see what I'm saying? That's the point. So they took that from us, then created a system of division and tricks and lies to keep us fighting one another. And now you are able to now control someone like that because you have them on remote control Negro mentality.
Yep.
We are operating like Frankenstein's monster. So they got us on
savages,
remote control. You see what I'm saying? So now the fear is easily able to be injected into a people when you know how they operate. We are reactors more than proactors. We are reactors more than calculators by nature, which we are. We're reactors more than we are strategizing groups of people and group thinkers like we normally are. That's our nature. But they removed us from that, and now we have become react to everything. And when I see this, I'm watching exactly how the playbook is going, how they're doing things on TV, at what time they murder somebody, how they allow the videos to go up. But then when you speak truth about this topic, they pull it down. But us being murdered and all, they leave it up. There's always a strategy on how they do this. You see what I'm saying? So the fear side of it is they made us believe that they are God and that there is no God above them. Because if you fear nothing and no one but God for real, then you can't be afraid of nobody. That's why they don't like when they have brothers like me, like you, sisters like you, and people like us talking.